Okay, class, today's lesson is actually quite easy. It's on plotting points and horizontal and vertical lines. So go ahead and write down the title there, and we're going to get started with some definitions. As we're going along and you need to pause the video to write something down, just raise your hand and ask the sub to pause the video. So some definitions. A graph is something that shows the relationship between two variables in an equation. You guys have probably done this since the 4th grade. You don't need to write this one down, but the graph, XY coordinate, is also called a Cartesian coordinate system. And it's what we're going to use to draw graphs. I normally say XY graph, but here's what it looks like. You guys have seen it. It is technically called the Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, moving on. Some definitions that you do need to write. The horizontal axis, this one right here, is called the x-axis. And the vertical axis, that's this one here, is called the y-axis. Again, you guys have probably seen this many times starting in elementary school. Okay, some more definitions. The point of intersection of the two axes, the y-axis and the x-axis, it is called the origin. And it is this point right here. It is the 0, 0 point. The coordinates, or the values of the x and the value of the y, determines the point. This is also called an ordered pair. So this ordered pair, this is 0, 0. It's 0x and 0y right there. Next slide. So in case you forgot, here's how you plot a point, 3, -4. Now, the x-coordinate is first, and the y-coordinate is second. So the x-coordinate is 3, and the y-coordinate is -4. So now how do we plot this point? Well, we start at the origin and count to the right 3 places on the x-axis. See, this is the x-axis right here. We count to the right, 1, 2, 3. And then we move down 4 places. In the y direction, it's -4. +4 would go up, but this is -4. So -1, -2, -3, -4. And that right there is our point, 3, -4. You guys should have written this down here. And again, ask the sub at any point to pause it. X comes first, y comes second. Let's talk about horizontal and vertical lines now. Horizontal lines go this way. You can't remember that. You can think of it as the horizon. If you're out at the beach and you're looking at the horizon, it goes this way, and a horizontal line goes this way. Vertical lines go up and down. Now, first we'll start with horizontal lines. There's 3 of them right there. And they have an equation, and the equations are as follows. They're y equals something. It depends on where the line is. Well, this spot right here is -1, -2. That's where y is -2. And on this entire line, y is equal to -2. So hence you have an equation, y equals -2. And here you have a line where y equals 1. See, here's 0, 0. I move up 1. This is y equals 1. On this entire line, y equals 1. And this is a line y equals 4. Now notice the x-axis also goes in the horizontal. So students, if they mess this up, they will put x equals 1, x equals 4, x equals -2. They would be wrong. The line is always opposite of the axis. So this is the x-axis, and the line is y equals 1, or y equals -2, y equals 4. Let's look at vertical lines. Vertical lines go up and down like the y-axis, but they are x equals a number. again, it's always opposite. Here's the y-axis. It goes up and down, but the lines are x equals -4. So I count over -1, 2, 3, 4. That's x equals -4. Here's x equals -1, and then positive 1, 2, 3. There's x equals 3. Okay, so now you've got the basic information. That was just a lot of review. Hopefully you've got it. Now let's look at the problems we're going to have on our homework tonight. Problems are going to look like this. Plot 4 points. It'll give us a rectangle, or maybe plot 3 points, and it'll give us a triangle. And find the perimeter. So the first step is to plot all the points. And again, you start x value, y value. So I find x equals -1, 2, 3, 4. And y equals 0, so it just stays right there. The next point is x equals -4. I found that already. And then y equals 4, so I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. I plot that on there. You guys should be following along with this and plotting it on your paper. The next point is 5, 0. Well, that's x equals 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And y is 0, so the point's going to be right there. Next is 5, 4, and that's going to be the point right there. If you notice, these 4 points form a rectangle. And you have to find the perimeter. Now, before you find the perimeter, you have to find each of the sides. So all you do is go like to this side right here and say, well, what is the distance from that point to that point? You just count. 1, 2, 3, 4. The distance is 4. You can see there's 4 squares there. The distance is 4. So we know on a rectangle, if this side is 4, the other side has to be 4 as well. So now let's find the distance down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The distance on the bottom is 9. That means the distance on the top is 9 as well. And we know the perimeter, we add 4 sides. So I'm going to do that down here. 4 plus 9 plus 4 plus 9 is 26. That is the perimeter there. It's also twice the width. Twice the width would be 8, plus twice the length would be 18. 8 plus 18 is 26 there. Now another type of problem you'll have on your homework here is another type of problem will look like this. Plot these 4 lines and then find the area. So what we're going to do is we're going to plot each of these lines. These each are an equation for a line. It's going to give us a rectangle, and we're going to find the area this time, not the perimeter, but the area. So I'm going to start here, y equals 3. Y equals 3. Well, remember the lines are opposite, so my y lines are going to go this direction. They're horizontal lines. And I just go up to 3. I go 1, 2, 3, and I draw a line right there. Your line probably won't bounce on the page like that did, but there you go. And then I go y equals -2. I go -1, -2. It's right there. Next, I have my vertical lines, x equals 1 and x equals -1 and x equals 5. So let's start with x equals -1. Remember, they're opposite, so they're going to go vertically like this y-axis. Here, x equals -1 is... Oops, we did x equals 5 first. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. And then you do x equals -1, and that's there. Notice these 4 lines make a rectangle right there. And again, we have to find the sides in order to find the area. So I'm going to count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The length there is 5. And the length of the bottom is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this would be 6 up here and this would be 5 here, but we're talking about area. And the area of a rectangle is the width times the length. So 5 times 6. That is 30. That was it. That was the end of the lecture today. Very quick, very easy. Hopefully you guys get it and the homework will be easy.